Here we have a 19th century Padouk Anglo-Indian campaign chest with Secretaire and a cupboard. So first of all, your first question might be, what is campaign furniture? Now, campaign furniture was traditionally used for military campaigns, but was also used by explorers and people travelling the world, Victorian times and even in the Georgian times. So 19th century and 18th century, and even dates back to times of Julius Caesar. They would go on military campaigns, and any furniture which they could take with them and set up on the campaign, the march or the war, would be classed as campaign furniture or military furniture. Now, to do this, it needed to be movable, easy to move, and also be able to shrink down to small sizes. So campaign chests, and this particular one here with a cupboard, has handles on each side. The top comes off, and it allows for easy movement and separation of the piece. Anglo-Indian campaign furniture is campaign furniture which is either made in the Anglo-Indian style and travelled over from Britain to India and was used in campaigns out there and adopted the styles or was adapted over there. Or in this case, which is Padouk, which is an Indian wood, was made by British cabinet makers who travelled over, which are either military units or travellers or explorers to other countries, and made this particular example over there in India. And then it would come back with the military unit. This campaign chest has gadrooned detailing all around. So this is traditional of your Anglo-Indian Padouk campaign furniture. So it's got all the edges here, really nice. Down each side, nice touch. And even to the turned feet at the bottom, gadrooned edges around all of them. This campaign chest has a secretaire to the middle. So this shows that as either high-ranking officers or officials in the military, or a very wealthy person who would have typically had one of these pieces, and it's a very rare example. Now, if we open this up, there is a leather writing space, and it has 3 red leather sections, each got all the old marks and ink stains from which would have been used by the old officer. And each section here even opens up to reveal hidden storage space. And that's the same with both sides. So your right side and your left. Really neat little trick. Then behind this, there's a storage space or compartments here. This originally would have come out with the piece when you open the secretaire. There was a mechanism, and this would have pushed out the hidden compartments. So you've got 2 compartments at the end, another 2 at the end here. Now, you've got the pigeonholes and drawers to the sides as well, with the original brass fittings to each side. Provenance for this piece. Inside, during the restoration phase of this piece, we found, hidden back here, there's a closed-off area. We managed to open it up to check inside if anything needed repairing and if there's anything in it. And to what we found was a few pieces of old paper, all torn, distressed, and aged, which have been lost over the years. The program found within this piece was for the first Madras Fusiliers. And Madras is a place now called Chennai in India. And the program itself was dated to 1856 and August specifically. And this was a march in which where the military would have marched around the towns. And this gives us an indication, and actually backed up that this is an Anglo-Indian campaign chest, that this has travelled from India and come back with a British unit. And it gives us an indication to what unit it was, which is the 102nd Madras Fusiliers, which is later called. This unit was originally created by the East India Company and continued in India from around 1740s all the way into 1860s, then 70s. This piece has been in the barn for many, many years. When we found it, it was very tired, antique, very old. Not in the state it's in now. And we've carefully restored this piece, making sure not to over polish, over restore it, because we want it to retain, say, some of the marks, even some of the wear to the leather on here, which has come from years of use and travel on the campaigns it was on. And they tell a story of this piece as much as being part of a military unit, the battles it was in, the places it's been, and we think that's a very important feature of this piece, and they kept it all on it. So we wanted to restore it more historically and preserve it. You can find this piece at nightfineantiquesandcollectibles.co.uk.